I am pleased to welcome 2024 Pinnacle Prize winner Star Palmer. Star is the founder and executive director of Our Spot KC, a nonprofit founded in 2016 that provides housing, rental assistance, and other support services to the LGBTQ+ community in the Kansas City area. She is also president of the Kansas City Pride Community Alliance, the organization that runs KC PrideFest and Parade.
My upbringing was very religious throughout my adolescence up until about 13, 14. I was in an accelerated high school, college preparatory. I was a great kid. My sexual orientation was outed at about 15, and it caused some disturbances and problems within my family, my household, the community at large. Being LGBTQ, especially in religious spaces, is looked down upon. I chose to live my life out, open and free, which led me down a path of a lot, from youth homelessness to addiction to making a lot of decisions based on need. Being 15, 16, 17 years old, I should be worried about prom and college and all of those plans, but unfortunately I was tasked with different options and different priorities. I think the first experience that set me on this current path is just really seeing a need in the Black LGBTQ community of wanting more, how do we bridge a gap? There's so much fluidity in our community. You have trans and gender nonconforming folks. There's so much separation up under the rainbow, and so for me, I had a very close friend of mine that was murdered. The lack of attention that murder got led me into doing nonprofit work, essentially. As Black and brown folks, we've had to create our own spaces that were also queer, and that person that was murdered was not just a friend of mine, but a promoter for me for our events that we threw. And so that led me to want to do more in my community. I would say outside of my son, overcoming everything that has been thrown at me I've always been centered in family and purpose. So of course he's a big part of that. In community, being able to be that person that made it out, and still I can go from the block to the boardroom, right? And so being able to still be boots on the ground in the work that I do. Oftentimes where some folks can't relate, being an ED of an organization, oftentimes that's somebody who didn't found the organization, someone who had all of these degrees and fell into the role but no real lived experience. And I think that sets me out away from a lot of folks in similar roles. One of the biggest things that I've learned is not to judge. I mean, it's cliche, don't judge a book by its cover, but meet people where they're at, right? Anybody can get through and turn a corner if that's what they want, if that is their purpose, that is their mission. I enact change through Our Spot KC and KC Pride Community Alliance, first by listening to the community. We have enough entities, systems, organizations that come and tell you what they're going to do for you, but not enough people, places, and things that listen to what is actually needed. I want to make sure that when people walk into Our Spot KC, they see a piece of them represented some kind of way, whether that's identity, race, age, gender, whatever. I pride myself on that, whether they're program participants or community members. Folks have always been able to appreciate and identify that they don't have to co-opt a piece of themselves when they walk through those doors. I think the most significant impact we've made to date is our Lionhouse, our flagship Lionhouse KC program, which is for housing, specifically for LGBTQ youth, adults, and families. We've been able to break down barriers and, of course, ruffle some feathers, but let folks know that we deserve a place to call home that is for us, by us. I know to date we've been able to help hundreds of families. We've been able to move over $100,000 for rental and mortgage assistance and utility assistance. We've been able to house successfully over 75 youth, as we know that they are most vulnerable within the community. I'm Star Palmer, and I'm one of the 2024 Pinnacle Prize winners. And the one thing that I want folks to know about my work is that it's necessary.